My first and only guest tonight, probably my last tonight, so he'll be here through the whole show, is a man who's made over 100 movies. And yet he said once, if I ever acted in my whole life, I did it without knowing. Starlets have ripped off their apparel at the sight of him. He has been married, however, to the same woman for 30 years. Charles Laughton said about him once, he's a very tender man, a very great gentleman, one of my favorite people in the whole world, unquote. He was a study in contradictions. They say that about him, all those cliches, but certainly a fascinating man. And he is, as you all know, a very big star. We welcome, please, Mr. Robert Mitchum. But you've never sought publicity. It isn't part of your nature to, like
forbid, no. I'm trying to hide.
Yeah. How do you explain that? People often suspect that about an actor, or they say, why would a guy go into the business and get his face up on the screen or go on the stage, and then how can he claim that he's trying to
Well, you don't know that until after it happens, you know, because the privilege of anonymity, I mean, every man's right and gift is it's too late once it's gone. You know, once they've seen that big red Monday morning eye up on the glorious cinemascopic screen in full red living color, everybody knows you and you don't know nobody. You know, it's kind of a hard way to go.
Was that a shock for you the first time when you saw your own big eye up on that screen? Was it the way you thought it would look?
Tell you the truth, first time I saw myself on the screen, I was in a theater with my wife, and it was a Hopalong Cassidy, I think. And there were two women sitting before us in the Pantages Theater, and this woman said, my God, she said, who is that man? She said, that is the most immoral face I've ever seen.
Most immoral face?
Yeah, yeah. The only thing is that it gave rise to a ceaseless suspicion in my poor wife.
I bet it did.
I live with it.
Yeah. Let's get this one out of the way right now. What is the secret of a 30-year marriage? I'll never ask you or anyone else that again.
Deviousness, I should think.
Did you ever get hurt by a horse?
At first sight, First I was sore.
Yeah.
Then I was thrown. First day I went to work. A horse threw me 40 feet, and he'd come after, screaming, you know, after me with big piano key teeth, and I'm rolling around, throwing stones at him, and they rope him down. You know, it was funny. He threw me 4 times, and I finally took around the corner and worked them over a little bit.
Did you?
They applauded that.
Reasoned with the horse, probably. How do you do that?
Hit him. I did. I mean, it's the only, they issued me a big bone-handled .45, and every time he started to buckle up, I just tapped him between the horns and straightened out.
You must know what that made me think of, because they always talk about in your background having been on a chain gang. And that always sounds like something out of a folk song, but I never expected to meet anyone who'd been on a chain gang.
Well, it wasn't much of a chain gang. It's all we had. We called it a home. Well, Chatham County Camp #1. Chatham County, Georgia, Savannah, Georgia.
Well, it never tells in these things what you had done. And maybe you don't...
I don't know. I was just around, you know. I was busted for mopery with intent to gawk, you know. I was just... I was only 15, you know. What could I have done?
Yeah.
They tried a shoe store robbery on me, and I just sat there. I couldn't believe it, you know. And I said, wait a minute, when did this robbery occur? And the Judge Jordan said, would the bailiff mind repeating the charge for the prisoner? So they went through the whole, you know, all the details, and it was like 4 a.m. of a Wednesday morning, as near as I could figure. I said, well, I've been in jail since Sunday. And the courtroom broke up, and the judge spanked me with 180 days, for making the people laugh. It wasn't my fault.
No, that's
but I matched the description. I said, well, it happened while I was in jail. I've been in the bucket, for a week.
He felt that was no excuse.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Justice is justice.
Wasn't too bad.
But what was the charge originally? I mean, this was in the days when you were riding the rails?
I think just a common charge of vagrancy, or preying on the people, begging, or dangerous. I think it's parenthetically, it's a dangerous and suspicious character, potentially dangerous and suspicious character with no visible means of support.
That's what you were categorized as, and that's in the state of, what state was that?
Georgia.
How'd you get out of there?
It's a rather embarrassing question. They just forgot about me. I didn't turn up, and they didn't miss me, I guess. Fired a few warning shots over my head.
Weren't a lot of other guys chained to your ankle?
No.
No.
No. That was a really heavy detail when you were really locked up. I've spent a very short time in chains.
So you never were you were actually in chains at one point, with other men chained to you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I spent a very short time in chains.
So
I looked so angelic,
But if you walked away, then presumably...
I ran. I didn't walk.
Then did some lead follow you?
I heard a lot of noise.
Is it possible that you owe them any time then?
No. They just applauded my nimbleness, my speed, and because when I went to work at Lockheed, the FBI, had to check me out. They said, "Look, there's a little item here about." I said, well, what do you suggest? That I go back? And they said, "No, they ain't going to pay your fare back there." So I wasn't about to pay my own fare back.
Hey Jim, are you singing? I don't know. Let me ask him. Hey. I live uptown, downtown, all around. I had some money, I had none. Never been so low that I couldn't leave town. I'm a changeling, yes. Come on and watch me change. Crosses by my window like the waves down on the beach. Crosses by my window like the waves down on the beach. Got this girl beside me, but she's, out of reach. Dogs are roaming in the cruel morning yard. Dogs out there roaming in the cruel morning yard. To lose your love and keep her, well, that's more than hard. The woman is a devil, that's what I've been told. Devil is a woman, yeah, that's how the old story goes. take all your money, then she'll steal all your gold. Well, I sought a new life, so I bought me a wife and a new car. Crossed the border, went down to Juarez, Tijuana, Mexico. Lost my baby, lost my money and my name. I wish I could get out of this trip and get back to civilization. Sometimes when I'm sad, I buy a bottle and I drink myself to sleep. Whiskey's like a woman, she's good when she's cheap. Miss my baby, but more than that I miss my bottle of wine. A man can go. One leads to money and the other leads to soul. Money beats soul. Money beats soul every time. Hard fact of life, boy, but the money beats your soul every time. Ain't it the truth?
Once, early in March, the men of the brigade receive a surprise visit from one of Hollywood's movie heroes, Robert Mitchum. During this enjoyable interlude, there is talk about the glamorous girls of the film world. Mr. Mitchum is given the opportunity to fire some of the weapons of the real-life heroes in Vietnam.